Welcome back. In this video, the final in the series, I'm going to talk about self-care. Caring for children and young people who are recovering from a tough start to life, particularly during these difficult times, can be a tough gig. Their heightened needs can leave you feeling like a failure. It can distort your perception of yourselves and the children and young people in your care. It is important to consider the role and importance of your own well-being. In a state of well-being, we think at our best, we feel at our best, and we perform at our best. In a state of distress, that is when our nervous system is too highly activated, we're incapable of performing at our best in any task or role that we undertake, including caregiving. The consequence of not performing at our best can be shame and distress, which further compounds the problem. There is a phenomenon in psychology that we refer to as selective attention. Selective attention refers to a process by which we notice certain things in our environment, but filter out other equally obvious or noticeable things. We tend to selectively notice things that appeal to us on some level, and those things that are consistent with our thoughts, such as when we decide to purchase an item and find ourselves noticing the item in greater numbers. It also works with ideas, such that we tend to notice evidence that confirms our ideas and fail to notice evidence that does not confirm our ideas. We refer to this as a confirmation bias. Remember the array of simple maths equations. What stood out for you? When I ask people to report what stands out for them, they almost always say it is the equation in the bottom left corner. 4 plus 4 equals 9. There is a problem with this equation. It is wrong. It is the only one that is. 9 out of 10 are right, but we have a tendency to focus on the problem and not on what is right. When you are caring for children and young people with high or complex needs, this selective focus on problems is a problem. It carries the risk of you feeling overwhelmed by them, thus undermining your well-being and, in turn, your endeavours on behalf of the child or young person. It makes you feel stressed. When we are stressed, we're unable to perform at our best in a task or role that we undertake. Our thinking is important. Our thinking influences what we see and, in turn, how we see ourselves and the children and young people in our care. It also influences how children and young people see themselves. We need to work on seeing the positives, both in how we are performing the caregiving role and in the children and young people in our care. This is reflected in the two main aims of the self-care approach in the care curriculum. One, to support you to be more aware of the things that you already know and do that help the children and young people in your care. And two, to see evidence the children and young people in your care are benefiting from your endeavours. Both focus your attention on what is going right. Both support your well-being and ability to do your best. If I get you to think about what you already do that helps the children and young people in your care, you are more likely to consciously attend to doing those things and feel better about the role you are performing. This can be especially necessary when the child or young person is exhibiting particularly challenging behaviour. If I get you to think about the signs the child or young person is thriving in your care, this too will support your well-being. It will also nurture the child or young person's own positive self-image with associated benefits in terms of their emotions and behaviour and approach to life and relationships. In addition to paying attention to the things that you do that help the children and young people in your care recover from a tough start to life and the current uncertainty, I want to encourage you to write a list of 3 to 5 behaviours or attributes that you consider are evidence that the children and young people in your care are benefiting from your endeavours, and keep a record of the dates and or times and or places and or situations in which you observe them. The level of detail is up to you, but at the very least, keep a tally of each instance. In doing so, you'll become better and better at observing behaviours to be positive about and maintain a more optimistic view of the children and young people in your care and of the contribution you are making to their life. Better yet, you will help them to adopt a more optimistic view of themselves. In consideration of this last point, in the book titled The Zahir, the author, Paulo Coelho, tells a story of two firefighters who are fighting a forest fire. They take a break by a stream. The face of one firefighter is all black and sooty. The face of the other is clean. One of the firefighters then washes his face in the stream. The author poses the question as to which firefighter washes his face. The answer is the one whose face was clean, because he looked at the other and thought he was dirty. Children see themselves as they experience others to see them. Look for signs that they are doing well, and they will experience themselves as doing well too. Eyes are mirrors for a child's soul. What do children see in your eyes? This is the last video of the series. Thank you for joining me. I hope they are of some use to you. If you want to access more information about my work, I would encourage you to visit one or other of my websites. On my websites, you can access free resources and you can also purchase my books. Finally, I would encourage you to consider accessing the resource that accompanies this video series. I hope you found it all very useful to you. I wish you well in your endeavours and I wish you good health, both to you and to your family. Goodbye for now.